And we are live. Welcome, welcome everyone to another episode of Agents in the Trenches, the real life struggles of agents in this new market. And I'm coming to you straight from Baltimore, Washington. Come rain or storm, I know Fort Myers, Cape Coral is under storm right now. Luckily, we were able to get out, but I'm here with my running mate, Talia, and today we have a special guest. So go ahead, Talia.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Agents in the Trenches. I am so excited to be here and to have a special guest. But we are going to just kind of explore a little bit about Boaz, right? He is a new real estate agent in the industry, and I have the pleasure to mentor him. So we wanted to get him on here and get a little bit of info, some insight on how his experience has been being an agent in the trenches and kind of explore that a little bit. So Boaz, welcome. Thank you so much for
Welcome,
Good
welcome,
morning. Good
welcome.
morning.
how you
Let's allow
doing?
you to introduce yourself. How
Yeah.
you
Okay.
doing?
Well, hey, my name is Boaz Israel. I live in Lehigh Acres, Florida. It's one of the many little surrounding centers of Fort Myers, Cape Coral. I moved down to Florida in 2016, and I was living in Cape Coral. But when it was time to purchase a home, I like it out here in Lehigh Acres, so I came out here and purchased. So real estate is new for me. Sales is not new for me, but real estate is new for me. Often we all have life changes and life events, and so I had one in my family, and it put me in a position where I had to do something a little bit different. And real estate was the decision. It was a choice, and I'm glad I've made it.
And we're so
That's
happy to have you here today, Boaz. I'm right now. The beauty of technology, the beauty of this world that we're living in, is that there's nothing that can really stop us from doing business, right? And that
That's
being the
true.
case, I'm really happy to be able to showcase that. Hey, even from an airport, we can come together, jump on. And today, I want you to speak from the heart. I want you to speak or tell us your stories about how has this new journey in real estate been, and how has having a mentor been a plus for you?
Okay. Well, having a mentor is a big deal. Lucy and I have talked about that because I came in, I researched a lot of companies and I decided to go with EXP. I decided to go with EXP because it was the future, to be honest. That's how I look at it. We're an online brokerage. So I knew that the data would be available online. And that way, I didn't necessarily, I could jump in and dive in and I could start running, and that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to wait to see where if I could get in somebody's schedule to learn something new, or I didn't want to be brought along at a pace that was a little slower than what I may be interested in. And so Lucy was the perfect fit for me. And then Thalia, she's been the perfect fit as a mentor because I have access to her, and I come to Thalia with pointed questions, and she provides those answers for me. And the reason I'm able to come to her with those pointed questions is because of EXP and how their information is available to us. So that's been the biggest thing for me. I was very focused on wanting to be with an agency that had the information available for you. And I hope I'm answering your question.
Absolutely. I know Talia wants to ask some questions because we've been having a conversation about the importance of mentorship
Mhm.
and having that person running side by side with you, having the person that you can reach out to and that can really support, guide, direct you, and share with you the ins and the outs, right? So Talia, take it away. What are those questions you want to ask Boaz this morning?
awesome. Well, this platform, Agents in the Trenches, is us coming on here and giving you real life, stories, real life examples, and it being just a raw discussion. So I remember Boaz, and when he first started, he was training. He was, getting as much information as possible. I remember him telling me that, he wants to feel confident enough to start, right? So he's just kind of in that information mode. So he took some time, and I admire that about him, because he knew, he's like, okay, first let me get the information and then I'm going to go. So that's exactly what he did. And I remember when he reached out to me saying, that he went out door knocking, and, he just was like, he just went, all in. And then I don't know if you remember this story, Boaz, but you were mentioning how you went out to see some expired listings, and there was some properties that were a little rough around the edges. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So I love that he gave me that story, and he mentioned how you were a little bit skeptical on knocking those doors. Do you remember what I told you, and can you like express, that conversation and how I helped you like open up your eyes to a different perspective?
Yes. So, yeah, that the mentorship is awesome because you only know what you know, So there's gray areas for everybody. And this particular experience, to elaborate on it, is that, yeah, I was looking at the Lehigh Acres area and I was price banding it out. I was seeing what was selling, what was moving. And there were some homes that, they're very, very old. And they were affordable for somebody wanting to solidify a place to stay. Might not have been the greatest spot, but you could renovate them and it'd be an awesome spot, right? So when I was talking with Ali, I was like, I just wanted, I wanted to go knock on some of those doors and make sure that, I was okay to do them. And because you think when you come into the business, you have a certain tier where you want to work. And there's low hanging fruit everywhere. And the thing is that when it comes to this particular product, for a lot of people, it may not have been desirable. Even for me, once I started speaking to some of the people, I was like, man, I don't know about this. But the Leah was like, hey, investors are looking for these type of properties. So you want to make sure that you do the due diligence on them, and that you are open to working them because people want this product. And that was one of the things, because I was ready to write it off. I'll be honest with you. I didn't want to go in one house. I didn't want to go into. I was like, man, there was dog stuff everywhere, and you're just thinking, I don't know about this.
Wow, it
Thanks
looked
to
rough.
Leah, she expanded my thought process in that area.
And that reminds me of something that is really important for all the agents to know. There is a buyer for absolutely every property that exists. And
Mhm.
that's something, because a lot of times we walk into properties and we're looking at them from our perspective. We're looking at them from our focal point, right? From our vantage point. But always remember, there is a buyer for absolutely every property. Doesn't matter the condition, the location, doesn't matter anything. As long as, you got to write this down and never forget it, as long as it is priced to sell. If it's priced to sell, there's an absolute buyer for every property. So, you know, I hear the conversation between you and Talia, and how she empowered you, right? It's hard to get empowered by yourself, and
Yes.
she just kind of gave you the traction to continue forth with that property. Talia, take the conversation over with a little bit more on that story, because I think that's phenomenal. It's happening to a lot of agents out there.
And
Yeah, I mean,
thank you.
yes, yes, because I mean, Boaz, you're a new real estate agent. So a lot of times we have the lens of, okay, listing, right? Listing the property on the market. Oh, I don't know if I want to put my name on it. It's in rough condition. Maybe, it's going to make me look a certain kind of way, whatever. So a lot of times we don't even have to, like Lucy was saying, there's a buyer for everything. So, and I mentioned this as well to you, that we sometimes don't even have to put it on the market. If we have the seller, and we can find a buyer for it without having to put it on the MLS. So you can double end it, and just to be open-minded, because you got to start from somewhere, right?
Right.
And if there's someone there that is willing to sell, clearly, because they were an expired listing. So there might be some possibility there. So I go back to that story because for me, it makes me feel happy that I opened up your eyes, to a different possibility and a different opportunity. So, that you're going to take it along with you for the rest of your career.
That's true.
So tell us a little bit about maybe some of the struggles that so far you faced as a new agent.
Okay.
Is there anything that you can think of at the top of your head?
Of course, because and the beautiful thing is, I'm I'm just gonna be honest. I am so glad that I have access to you. I'll be honest with you, it has taken me a bit of time to get started. Right, that's the other thing. I didn't start right when I got my license, and I had reached out to Lucy, and I said, they put me with someone else. I wanted to be in your network, right? As far as having my mentor. And so once I got into a position where I knew I was really going to start, was able to get back with you guys, and now I'm in the stable, so to speak.
Yeah.
But just having the not having the knowledge to know exactly what is needed. You've helped me there, going out into the field. I remember I was going out to an interview and I said, yeah, so I got this contract, I got that contract, and I got a question about this. And because I had access to you, you were able to discover you're going out with the wrong contract. That's not the one that you want to go out with. So those things happen. When you have a mentor and you have an active mentor that's concerned about what you're doing in the field, it's a beautiful thing because you discover those things. I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and call you. I'm not afraid to text you, and you get back to me. And I can't say that for everybody, but I'm glad that I have it here.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I know when we first, talked on the phone, we went through, all of the questions like, okay, how can I help you? How can you get in? So we set the expectations also up front. And I remember you telling me, oh, I'm happy that we're going this route, because I told you, I'm like, okay, I prefer you text me. I prefer you text me first, and then if I'm able to, I'll give you a call if it's more of an extensive question and I have to
mhm.
really explain. So that was also important too, because we laid out the expectations right in the front, so you're able to come to me and you know how to approach me, and that same likewise to you. So I text you here and there saying, hey, what's going on, how did that listing go, make sure you follow up, don't forget, and
Mhm.
it's good to have someone like that in your corner. So I'm happy you found it valuable so far, and it makes me really happy that what I'm doing is helping you. And of course, with Lucy by my side, I'm able to do anything.
I gotta jump in. I gotta jump in because I got goosebumps when Boaz was talking about that and how, he has felt your service, Talia, how he has felt your care, how he has felt your, you know, backing him up. I want to say this for everyone that's going to watch this live or replay. Mentorship is not just about reach out and ask me a question. It's about let me serve you, let me help you win, let me put my agenda aside for a moment because my pledge was to help you to put deals together. And that's what I'm hearing Boaz say. And that's exactly what I always coach Talia in. My part is coaching, which is the how to, the strategies, getting you guys to where you want to go faster. But mentorship is really the heartbeat of an agent's success, because that is the person that is just on the running side, running with you at the pace that you want to go. And really, mentorship is about service. And I know there's a lot, I've spoken to a lot of agents out there, and I want to ask Boaz is, because you just mentioned it, you had another mentor before, but there was a disconnect.
Mhm.
When you have a mentor, it has to be someone that is willing to succeed, one hand up, one hand down. That means, yeah, the mentor's out there doing their business, but they have to be willing to stop for a moment and also pick you up and bring you along with them. What else can you tell us a little bit about? Because you've experienced the disconnect, and now you're experiencing the service mentorship, which is really what helps agents succeed.
Yes. And it really doesn't take that much. All you have to do really is, don't let us fall through the cracks. And the way that, for me, the way that you do that is you reach out. especially when you know that I'm doing something. Perfect example. This is a great example. I potentially was working with someone before I was able to get into your field, and I'm still in the new program because I have to get out of the program. Which Talia was asking about, goals. I said my goals are just 3 sales. That's my goals. Once I get past that, then we can talk about anything bigger and better. But potentially, I was going to have a client, but the interest rates, they shot up, and so they didn't want to move. They already had a home that they had in another part of the country, and so this would have been their 3rd home. So they were like, we're just gonna hold off. We're not gonna come down. But I called my previous person before, and I said, this is what I have going on. She's like, well, call me when you're ready to do the contract. And I'm like, okay. She never checked back up on me. And here's the difference. I had a listing appointment, right? From a door knock, right? And I'm thinking, hey, my background, I'm going in here, we're gonna get this deal done, right? Because the guy was really misinformed. He was a for sale by owner, and our conversation in front of his house was, I'm ready to get started, come back and see me, I don't want to wait. So I let everything go. Should not have, but I let everything go. I said, okay, we're going to get this thing knocked out, right? So I went into that meeting, and what happened was he said, let's have a seat. He motioned towards the couch. I'm like, business is done at the table. This is not going the way that it's supposed to go. But because I thought it was a done deal at his doorstep, I let go of some of the bases. And Thalia called me back and she said, hey, did you follow up? Did you, she didn't let it go like, oh, Mike had I'm sorry, I had a listing, and that was that. She did not let it go that way. And I had to tell her, I said, well, I went into there, thought I was going to get that deal. Some of the confirmations that I should have got along the way, because of the situation, I relaxed and I got caught, so we had that happen.
I want to commend you for your transparency because that's where we grow. You know, trust me, none of us didn't go through what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
I am a product of a phenomenal mentor. I am a product of a man that just poured into me from the moment he saw my hunger. And that's what everyone that wants a good mentor just needs to show the mentor is, listen, I'm open-minded, I'm coachable, I'm trainable. Help me because I want to grow. I'm willing to go through the pain of growth, through the discomfort of getting out of my comfort zone. And then as I coach Thalia, because I believe in her mentorship, not only is she beautiful, right? I think she's the most cutest mentor in all of the Tri-County area, Lee
Well, how
Collier
about
and
that?
Charlotte
All
County.
right.
She's the cutest. But I see her potential and her hunger. I see her hunger. And so I've taught her, you know, you pour into your people, you love on them, you care for them, and you're going to see you will never go without success because we have a get by giving philosophy at Q International. The more we give, the more we get. It's just the magic in what we do and how we do it. So she's a product of that. I'm a product of someone that did it for me. And now you're becoming a product of Thalia's mentorship. I just love it. I have to say that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. That was so sweet, Lucy. But I love that, Boaz. I mean, from the beginning, like I told you, you have a drive, and I think you're going to do great. And once you build that momentum, I know there's no stopping you. So I'm so excited to be a part of that. And
Awesome.
I'm super whatever. I mean, I always tell you, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I know I'm willing to help. And I can't wait to see where this real estate career gets you. And thank you so much for joining. I know you have to go. So we're
Yes.
going to wrap this up
Thank
really soon. But thank you so much for joining and sharing, the insight, because this is what Agents in the Trenches is all about, is coming together and talking about the real life struggles of real estate agents and what we can do together to help each other out. So thank you, Boaz.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having
Boaz.
me, Lucy.
Great having you. Great having
Thank
you. Talia, this was a phenomenal conversation, and I'm so happy that we're able to bring someone that is a product of your mentorship, is a product of my leadership. I humbly say, my heart is in finding those agents that are out there, like Boaz, like so many others that we're speaking with, and saying, "Listen, don't throw in the towel. Come on, let's go. We got you. We're on your side. Let us show you what we're doing. Let us show you how we can help you. Let us bring you into our inner circle, right? And just help you navigate through these uncharted waters. But you got to raise your hand. So, Talia, where can people reach out to you? Because everybody needs to reach out to Talia. You need to get a sense, a feel for what real, true service mentorship is all about. And I say this because I'm super proud of you, Talia. I don't see you as you are, I see you as you're going to become. And every time I have a conversation with you, I gotta say this. I say to you, "Oh my God, I sound like my mentor, Joe. I sound like Joe. I sound like the man that poured into me for 20 years." And that's what ends up happening. We have the power to continue other people's legacy. So you got the power to continue my legacy, and I am so happy that life connected us. Where can people reach out to you and just ask? Listen, I'm gonna tell everybody right here, right now. Just pick up the phone, text Talia, and say, "Can we just have a conversation?" We're not going to pull, drag, or convince you to do anything, but you need to get a sense for what you just heard Boaz say. And it was the connection, the care, the transparency, the service, the heart mentorship, mentorship with a heart, because even though you're putting your deals together, you've been a great student and you've learned, hey, there's 24 hours in the day. You got to find 1 minute to send a text and say, how'd it go for you? And root for your people. And I think that's where mentorship is fractured. The
Mm,
mentorship is fractured in our industry. The mentorship, people think it's about, well, call me and ask me a question, and then I'm going to charge you 5% or 10%. No, it's care, it's service. So take it away, Talia. I'm going to let you close out today's Agents in the Trenches. I'm so super proud of you and bringing this together, inviting our first guest, and we're going to have other people here just sharing their struggles. So, where can
yeah.
people reach you at? Tell them to call you. Come on, girl. Let them know.
Yes, thank you, Lucy. I put my number down there. So 239-296-4867. You can I prefer you text me first so we can set up just a quick 15-minute phone call. But yeah, thank you so much, Lucy. I mean, she's always said that, I remember one time you told me, you were like, I'm so happy you're my Lucy. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so sweet, because like I do, I look up to you. So I can't wait to be a version of you to other people, and then I'm sure the cycle is going to continue to go on. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, you can call me, text me, and I'm willing to help. I'm willing to open my books, and Lucy has been so kind and giving to me, and she's always opened her books, her playbook to me, and I'm willing to open my playbook to other people, and whatever I know I'm willing to share. So I'm super excited. This was awesome. It was really good that that everything is just coming together, and I'm super excited for the future, for our future together. We're gonna skyrocket this thing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dali. Thank you, everyone. If you're watching on live, put live. If you're watching on replay, let us know. Reach out to Talia, have a conversation. Let's help you succeed. Let's join forces. The future is now. The best is yet to come. And we're having fun doing this, getting by giving. The more we give, the more we get. So let's make it happen, guys. Bye, Talia.
Bye. Have a great day.